Okay, so this thing happened. I mean, I hate to be the one to mostly bring up some concerns when it comes to double exposure, but I can't just let this one be and like not discuss that, because it really brought a lot of concerns, and it's something that I'd like to address. However, not necessarily focusing on the main problem, because the main problem, as always with Life is Strange, it goes back to the troll problem, and I'm not going to pretend to solve that issue right here, right now. But I do think I and all of us, we do know a bit about the original Life is Strange game. We had years to sort of think about that, sit on the problem, the final choice. We all have our own final choice. But something really bothers me, something that one of the Deckine developers mentioned on their Twitter. It's been reposted here and there, so that's why I grabbed it. I didn't see the post myself. I believe it's a real post, and I have only seen screenshots, which I will share them with you. However, I'll just sort of blur out the name, because I think that the profile cannot really be accessed by everyone, so I don't want to really expose it. And I think that tweet has been ever since deleted, and rightfully so. It's been posted in June 2024, and here's what it stated. While working on double exposure, we often debated the final choice in the original Life is Strange. The idea kept coming up that choosing Chloe over everyone in Arcadia Bay wasn't just the wrong choice, but the evil choice. I don't want to read the whole thing, but then he goes on and he says basically that potentially maybe if you dislike Chloe, then you'd be more likely to sacrifice her, which on its own is a pretty odd thing to say, because it sort of suggests that if you dislike someone, then you'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill them off later, you know. He also goes on and he says that maybe if you had like a big family and like a lot of friends, then you'd be more likely to save Arcadia Bay. And then he finally moves on to the cherry on top of the cake, and he does bring up that objectively speaking, saving Arcadia Bay is the moral choice. That really brings a lot of concerns, to be honest, when it comes to double exposure, because the one thing that I would hate for them to do is to moralize us and to claim that there is one specific choice that we are supposed to pick. I think it's been settled pretty hard that the final choice of the game is very personal, and none of the endings is correct. None of them is supposed to be the evil choice. None of them is supposed to be the moral choice. It's not supposed to be that way. First of all, let me just say that the trolley problem is bullshit. It's never going to happen to you in real life. Maybe sometimes it happened here and there with like the kidnapped plane or something, that sort of a stuff, but these are extreme situations that will never happen in our real daily life. Second of all, it's more than certain that if that somehow happened in our daily life to us, then we would say someone that we love, someone that's close to us. That happened in Life is Strange, that happened in The Last of Us. That's something that happens because you are naturally and psychologically bound to help someone that you love. Like, I don't care about 10 strangers on the street if there's a person that I care about right in front of me that needs my help. But also, I don't want to get into the moralizing tone myself, because like I said, it's very personal and it's a game, so it works on different rules. You might believe that the whole game was about Chloe accepting that she has to let go, and that maybe that's some sort of a redemption if she does sort of let Max sacrifice her and she saves her mother, for example, and she thinks that that way she's doing the noble thing. That's fine. Then you have the other way of thinking of it, Bay ending, when you save Chloe because you believe that the whole game is about saving her. Me personally, I made a video about that because that's my ending, and I discussed how I think that the whole thing was actually Max's way of redeeming herself because of how she, you know, left Arcadia Bay and never spoke to Chloe again, despite the fact that Chloe's father died and all of that. Both choices have really moral grounds there. None of them could ever be considered evil. None of them could ever be considered the moral choice. And the fact that it even came up during Deckine discussions over the story, it's actually quite scary. The last thing I would like for them to do is to sort of include their own perception of how it's supposed to go by the end of Life is Strange. Despite the fact that Don't Know did say that there's there's no right choice, and it truly felt that way, that they never really suggested that this or that is better than the other one. Of course, you can sort of argue because admittedly sacrificing Chloe was a more polished ending, and also they get the Max and Chloe kiss, which we never did. Yeah, that's bullshit. Anyway, I think even in actually the Three Colors DLC with Steph, it did sort of come up. Like, I remember that there was this tone, like if you sacrifice the town, then it sort of felt like they were trying to add some moral narrative to that. I remember that feeling. I can't really say what it was exactly, but it did feel that way after the Wavelength Steph DLC. Now this one is more dangerous because we will be playing as Max and we will be in her head constantly. We will hear her inner monologue. So if I personally sacrifice Arcadia Bay, am I going to be told by my Max that maybe I shouldn't have done that, I killed off so many people? It would be understand for Max to think so, but it wouldn't be right for Studio to think so, and for Studio to sort of place that narration, because it's fine for Max to have these thoughts. It's more than understandable that both her and Chloe will have some sort of guilt situation going on there, but there's guilt, which is a subjective feeling, and there's objective statements that this or that was wrong. Again, I'm not trying to solve the troll problem here, and I'm not trying to say that the final choice, either this or that, was the right one or the bad one or the evil one. But if that came up in Deckine Studio and they did consider sacrificing Chloe the evil choice, even if for a second they viewed it that way, that's actually a bit terrifying. And I think that that's a ultimate misunderstanding of the game. That wasn't the point at all. The point was for Max to prove her love for Chloe, to redeem herself, or for Chloe to sort of try and sacrifice herself for her parents, for everyone else in Arcadia Bay. So let me know, what are your thoughts on that, and are you actually quite scared? Because I am. I really am. Thank you so much for watching, and big shout out to my patrons as always. Stay safe, guys. Bye!